Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle podcast. I started this podcast for one very simple reason, and that is to show you what it's like to actually start a business. Going from a side hustle business that I'm doing while working the 9 to 5 to being full-time in my business, living the life that I want, controlling my time, controlling my hours. And the number one problem that I had with every podcast I listen to on the market is that either A, they don't actually get down to the nitty-gritty. They're not transparent with you, telling you about their actual struggles, or B, they've already made it so there aren't struggles to share. And that's why I decided to start this podcast right here, right now, as I've just transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, so I can actually share with you the struggles as I go through them, and you can learn from my experiences while you're growing your business alongside me. Now, let's get into the show. What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle podcast, episode number 6. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I know I did. I ended up spending Saturday working on the car that I bought last week, and then I ended up spending Sunday Sabbathing. My wife and I went to a coffee shop. We went to a friend's house and played games last night. Had a great weekend, and I am just so excited to be back here with you again today on this new adventure we're going on this daily podcast. Episode number 6. So I want to tell you guys kind of what I've been mulling over. And so some quick updates just on the car, and then we'll do some updates on what I promised you on Friday, which is where I'm at on the idea of making an offer that's meant for up market or going up market. So I'll be a little bit more. So let's dig into that. So first off, initially, let's talk about the car. That's the easy one. Saturday, I replaced all the spark plugs in the car, and it drives a lot smoother now. However, there still is a little bit of unsettling in the engine. It's not quite right. All the pistons are firing now, so that's good. And then there's still some white smoke coming out of the exhaust, and then it's still bleeding coolant. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? We need a new intake manifold. So I bought the new intake manifold. I'm going to be putting that in at some point this week. It's a 2003 Ford Explorer, if I haven't mentioned that part. And I also I realized that I cannot replace the wheel bearing on my own because I do not have the necessary equipment for that. However, it's actually cheaper to simply get an entire new hub than it is to pay for a professional to replace a wheel bearing. So I ordered a new hub online for the rear right hub assembly setup. And I think I need a front one as well, but I need to open into that and figure it out. So that's what's going on with the car. Should be something that's actually fully drivable in, actually, it could be up to 2 weeks just because of how long it takes to get parts from the internet. But it'll be up and running in a couple weeks. And I suspect that our all-in investment in the car will be $4,500 or less. And then we'll have an 03 Ford Explorer with 170,000 miles on it. And my wife and I are both pretty happy with the car. It's an XLT, nice interior. We're pretty happy with it, honestly. I'm much more excited about it than I thought I'd be. So that's the car stuff. Now switching into the whole point of why this podcast is here, which is to not simply document my life and anything random that happens, like fixing a car, but also to document the journey of the Settle Your Side Hustle brand, building a business. So I'll be just some candid with you guys about some numbers and what I'm thinking through. One element that I realized I didn't mention on Friday is the idea that I actually have someone who I've reached out to. They did not reach out to me. I reached out to them, who I asked them if they could help me consulting in how to go up markets. It's a space that I'm not familiar with. I don't understand it as well. And so I just figured there's someone who could probably take on working side by side with me for 3 months perhaps, and just kind of show me the ropes so that I can enter the market strongly. And so here's where we're at on that. Right now, the Settle Your Side Hustle brand is responsible for revenue in exactly 2 main ways. What the primary way, everything that I do that's forward facing, if you go and you follow me on Facebook, if you're in my Facebook group, if you listen to this podcast or YouTube, depending on where you're at, all the content that I put out, everything in my email list is all centered around coaching, consulting, helping people launch their side hustle style businesses or scale their side hustle style businesses. Everything that I'm doing is the blueprint on how to build your business. It's this 5-step blueprint that I have here, which I am actually implementing as much of it as I can. It's transferable to going up market. this strategy, everything about it is not really designed for landing massive clients like the ones I'm going after at the massive price point that I'm going after. It's really lower mid-tier service-based business, but everything about that is transferable conceptually. There's just particulars that I would like assistance in if I end up hiring this individual who I reached out to. And so everything about that's coaching consulting, right? So I have the 30-day intensive, I have the Settle Your Side Hustle challenge, and I have one-on-one coaching, and that is the company, right? But then there's the second element that's revenue generating, and that second element is what I do so that I can feel ethical about teaching how to settle your side hustle, and that's effectively what I consider to be my side hustle, and that is where I do done for you services, marketing services for clients. And so I have a client who's paying me $300 a month and I'm managing their email marketing. They don't do a ton of email marketing, so that price works out well. I have a client that's paying me $1,000 a month and I manage their podcast and some emails and some content. And so I have these consulting clients. And when I look at the consulting clients, I'm sorry, not consulting clients, when I look at these done for you service clients that I have so that I can practice what I preach, I have 5 of them. 6 of them. I have 6 of them. And those clients, collectively, the revenue that's generated from them is about $2,200 a month. And so that's what I have coming in that's consistent month over month. What I do for coaching is not consistent. They were one-time payments. And so my coaching grant, somebody will pay 1,000 to 3,000 ish for a coaching package. I guess the upper end of that is actually 5,000 now that I think of it, but they'll pay in that range one time. And then I have these clients who are paying me smaller retainers on contracts, right? So that's 2,200. If I work with this gentleman who I reached out to and I decide I'm going to move forward in attempting to go up market, that 2,200 initially disappears. And so, and what I mean by that is that's going to be the cost of working with him as well as the softwares that he recommends. And so right now I have a team of VAs that I pay $300 a month. And then working with him would be $1,500 a month. And then the softwares that he recommends are $250 a month. And so when we add all that up, my recurring revenue dwindles down to like $150 a month, right? And then that would mean that I'd be in the position where it's really cool. All of that is met. All those bills are paid. I could absolutely afford it. We have enough money in the bank to where I can actually afford to not make a penny for 3 months. And then all the revenue that I would have I wouldn't be starting my months with this baseline security anymore. I'd be starting my months with the, like, if I don't land a client, I don't have any money. And that's something that I'm considering as far as how that would affect my psychology. I'm considering how that would play out over time, and then I'm thinking too, like, well, obviously if I just land one client up market, then it more than covers this, right? So these are all I'm doing right now is just being transparent with you guys about the particulars and the details. What I'm actually doing today in just a couple hours is I'm going to be getting on a call with a mentor of mine to talk about exactly this and figure out his thoughts and opinions towards it. And then tomorrow I will be following up with the guy who I reached out to and deciding whether or not we're going to be working together moving forward. And so that's the plan right now. Tomorrow or Wednesday, I will have an update for you on whether or not I am introducing a higher market leg to the company. And that's what it would be. I wouldn't be stopping anything about the Settle Your Side Hustle brand. All of this would exactly stay the same, continue growing it, continue building it. And then there would simply be another element that's in addition to. And then the types of done for you services that I would be doing for these higher ticket clients would be very similar to what I do for myself. And so it would actually be important that I keep doing everything that I'm doing so that I have examples that I can share. Especially one, before I have clients, and two, if my clients if I can't share that kind of content with prospects. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. That's kind of what I've got. And I guess I'll end as I do with every episode and just remind you that if you want to start your very own side hustle and you want to turn it into a main hustle and you want to be able to land 6 clients and be making $2,500 a month on the side, then, or more, if you want to grow from there, that's great too. Then I just invite you to go ahead and take advantage of the free offer that I have in the comments, and that is it's a list of 50 proven side hustles you can start with your laptop, a list of the 11 tools that I think you need to use to start those, and it gets you access to the free Facebook group where I do weekly lives. Today, I actually did a live training where I went through the entire 5-step blueprints, and I did that in a half hour or so. And so that's a really, really good video that honestly should just be my lead magnet on its own. And so if you go ahead and you take advantage of this right now, you'll be able to watch that video as well. And so that's what I have for you guys. I love you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.